Okay, we are now live here on Hugo's Desk. Thank you so much for being here. I hope everyone can listen to me well. I hope the sound is good. Please let me know in the chat if you think the sound is not working or something. I'm always never sure because we had that issue on that date, so I'm always a bit nervous. So today, as you probably know, because I've been like promoting it and saying it on social media, we have a pretty special guest today, and we have a pretty special stream today. So it's not really going to be the typical stream we do with either showreel reviews or with nuke composting. Today we're going to have a guest. The guest is going to be a wonderful illustrator and digital artist that's going to be showing her work and also talking about her process. She's called Diana Necşulescu. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced it. I'm sure I did, but she's gonna say her name again, and I'm sure she's gonna say it much better than me. So apologies for that. I can see the people saying the sound is good, so that's good. So yeah, so we're gonna be here for like about an hour or so, and we're gonna talk about her process. We're gonna talk a bit about her work, and she's gonna show us some stuff. And we have some art to show. We have some time lapses. We have some stuff, and also we're gonna be taking questions from the audience. So if you have any question to Diana, if you have anything that you want to ask her about her work or about anything at all about the process or the things that you're going to see today, feel free to write it on the chat. I'm going to try my best to cover the chat, and I'm going to try my best to just always check all the questions and answer as much as I can. So yeah, that was it. So anyway, let's really get the show started. So first of all, of course, I would like to thank BenQ for all of the support that they always provide to my channel. So I just wanted to thank, and I know they're listening, so thank you so much, BenQ, and thank you so much to all the team over there at BenQ Europe. And I guess we are all here because of them, really, because this was a contest that they created for basically for the Viva Magenta color, which is the color of the year, which actually I was very happy that I actually have a Viva Magenta. And Anna was I was very happy that Anna bought one for me, so it was really good. So I can at least support Viva Magenta for a little bit until the end of the year as well. So yeah, so we're gonna just basically start off by thanking BenQ. So with that in mind, I'm gonna run a commercial from BenQ of their latest monitor. That's actually the monitor that I have here. So that's the one I have on the actual right side. So this is the SW27, the new SW, which is a professional photographer monitor. And I'm going to roll that commercial and just to thank them for supporting the stream and always being so kind with supporting my Hugo's Desk channel. So let's roll the commercial. It's really short, and then we'll come back. Just give it a second. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for BenQ. And as you can see, that's a lovely new commercial they have for the SW range. And I'm going to be having a review of that monitor very soon on my channel. So I'm actually doing that review right now. But anyway, I guess that's it for now. Again, if you have questions, please write them on the chat. If I don't answer or if I don't pick up the questions, just write it again. It would be really nice if we can have some questions for Diana and also to go through as we present some of her work and we chat with her. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions. I'm gonna bring Diana over to the stream so that we can have a chat with her. So give me just a second. I'm gonna just like if you just hold on here for a second. Yeah. So let me just change my screen here. So yeah, I guess that's it. I'm here joined by Diana. I just wanted to say hello. Hi, Diana.
Hi, good to be here. Thank you for the invite.
No problem. So first of all, congratulations for winning the BenQ Viva Magenta contest. It was
Thank you.
lovely to see your work. I was one of the judges on this project from BenQ Europe, and there was a lot of entries and a lot of really good work. And congratulations.
Thank you
How
so
do you
much.
feel? Did you enjoyed it? How was it?
Oh, I'm really happy that you guys liked my work and that you resonated so well with like the storytelling and all the joy and energy I try to imbue in the illustration.
Oh, that's cool. And
And
I are you like how did it actually happen? Like was it like you saw the context and you had an idea right away, or
no.
tell me a little bit about that?
I actually saw the contest last year when it was the Very Perry contest with the periwinkle purple. And I participated that year, last year also. I didn't win. I wasn't selected that time, but I really, really enjoyed thinking about the color and like creating the storytelling and the world, the universe that goes around that color. So last year for the purple, I did something very melancholic. And this year, when it was magenta, I thought that we need a burst of joy and I need to find something that really screams, purple, magenta, and life and energy.
Yeah, you definitely did that. Like people have seen it already from the banner of this stream and also
Mhm.
from the social media posts that I've been posting all over the week leading up to this stream. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. I just wanted to like ask you also like a little bit about yourself, like before we show
Oh,
the audience some of
for
your
sure.
work and also like talk about like take some questions. Tell us a little
Mhm.
bit about yourself, how what do you do right now? Where are you right now? Like tell us a little bit about your life.
Mhm. Okay. So my name is Diana Necșulescu. I'm based in Bucharest. I'm in Romania right now. I like to travel around, but all my work is done like from my desk here in my apartment in Bucharest, which I share with my partner, my two dogs, and my cat. I'm a freelance illustrator. I've been doing this for almost 10 years, which have been overlapped with my learning process, I guess. And yeah, I'm doing mostly children's books and illustration for. I've been doing some packaging. I've been doing some festival key images lately, like visuals. And I also do visual development work for animation, which I showed you a bit earlier, and we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, and
And
yeah. So tell me a little bit about how did this happen? How did you start it? Because I noticed that you say on your website and you say it on LinkedIn that you are self-taught. Like,
mhm.
how did this all occur?
Okay, so I started studying interior architecture when I was 19. And that was very, very difficult for me and very complicated and a real job, real job TM, which I did my best to pursue, but it never really happened because I always had like these crazy ideas for interior and I would always rather go for concept art rather than actual livable spaces for humans. And when I finished with my studies, I went directly into comics. I did an indie comic book. I pursued comic books for like comic making for about 2 years. And then slowly I realized that I'm more interested in painting and world building. And I moved towards storytelling through children's books and animation. And that's how I kind of slowly got to this place where I do these very colorful things filled with kids and animals and I don't know, stuff, colorful stuff.
Cool. I guess I'm gonna share my screen because it's
Mhm.
better for us to show the audience what we're talking about and so
Mhm.
that they can see what you've been up to as well. So I'm gonna
Cool.
start by sharing my screen, and so that people can see it. I'm not sharing the screen to the audience yet, but I will
Mm-hmm.
very soon. You see the screen, but they don't see it yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But just give me a second. Everyone knows how this is. My streams are always a little bit funny. I'm always like moving windows around and moving things around, so apologies for that already in advance. Um, I'm sure everyone is going to be fine with that. So yeah, so now people are seeing the screen. So I guess, like you said, like you love doing drawings and paintings, and you kind of that was a major shift from architecture to to painting, and for
Mm-hmm.
to do that. But and so how does it work? Do you usually take commissions, or do you or work as a freelancer? How does it does this work? Is some of it professional, some of it personal? How does that work?
Yeah, I take commissions. I have like my own company together with my partner. We work professionally in design, illustration, book layout, things like that. And I also like to do like my own paintings, and I get the ideas and I put them to digital paper, and I like to show them to people because I really believe that there must be a place for self-expression also, and not just commercial work, not only things that are commissioned by clients
Absolutely,
usually.
absolutely. I completely agree with you. People sometimes forget to do private, like to do personal work to develop themselves. Sometimes because you get really busy with
Yeah,
professional work. You get so busy that you never take the time to do other things as well. And it's so important for the development, and also so important for just for you to also relax and to chill and not always have feedback and
for sure.
clients and things like that.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm gonna like you tell me if you want to show anything else, but maybe we start
No.
with the drawing
Hmm.
that we discussed in the beginning, which was the one that won the Magenta contest. So I already said to everyone that I really like this drawing, and it was beautiful as soon as I saw it. And
Thank
I
you.
love cats, so I was of course like always immediately you had a winner here, like for me. But why don't you tell us a little bit about how did like what was the process behind
Mhm.
this painting?
Okay, so the theme of the contest was a character inspired by the color Viva Magenta. And because I have like a little bit of a background of studying concept art through online classes like schoolism, CGMA, stuff like that, I thought that a character art should be something more professional, more serious than this. And then I thought about the color, and I thought about what people might actually enjoy seeing. And I came to the conclusion that we really need to see a character illustration, like a story beat. And I thought about this kid that's climbing a pomegranate tree to steal to grab some fruit, and is guided and accompanied by her cats, which usually just have a very hard time being guardian angels to this kid that's running around in trees in the countryside, maybe scraping their knees, getting into all sorts of trouble.
That's so cool. You have like a full story for this.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And how was the process? Was this like sketched first? I'm just scrolling
Mm-hmm.
through the page that you
Mm-hmm.
have there. I've also shared your website on the chat if anyone wants to
Thank
go and
you.
check your work. I really recommend everyone to go and check it. But what
If
was
you're gonna
like?
scroll, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's my sketch.
Okay, cool.
That was my only sketch where I thought about what kind of characters should be into. Then I wrote down a couple of stuff, just very briefly to have some pointers, some ideas. And then I kind of visualized a lot of it before going into painting it, because in that period, in those weeks, I had a lot of commercial work to do. Didn't really have time for sketching, didn't really have time or any mood, to be honest, to stay at my desk and do digital work. So I tried to paint it in my head a couple of times. And then I pretty much sat down one afternoon and painted it. Put the main color, the magenta, the Viva Magenta color as a background, and started working on it.
And so how does this usually, how is your process complete? Like, so you've done this little sketch, and do you end up doing more advanced sketches, or do you go directly to the computer to actually draw it digitally?
I usually go directly to my computer to draw digitally. I gather some references. So for this, I had a full folder of pomegranate flowers and fruit, and a couple of kids hanging from tree branches as well. Yeah, I composed and brought everything together in Photoshop.
In Photoshop. So
In
you painted
yeah.
directly. I noticed that I saw this lovely video that you have here with your cat. What's the name of your cat?
Maria.
Maria. I saw that's this lovely video that I saw on your Instagram page where you have, so basically you use like a tablet, and you paint directly to the tablet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so also noticed that this drawing specifically was very cinematic as well. First of all, because it's like very wide. You shot it very, very cinematically on a very wide lens, but also it has grain and everything. So you've put like some texture into it, which was really nice. I found it really, really, really cool. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm very into grainy and cinematic images, I gotta say.
You also ended up doing like an animation with this, wasn't it? So tell us a little bit about that.
This is not me. This is my very talented friend Anda, who might be joining us on the stream. She's a motion designer, and we were both in Berlin at the time. She saw the image, my illustration, right after I got the announcement that I won. And she had the idea of doing this little parallax, this little motion with it.
Oh, cool. And I'm actually going to show it to everyone with sound and everything, because it has sound and everything, doesn't it? So I'm going to
it's free,
do
right?
that.
Copyright free.
Yeah, I'm just going to like do that real quick so that people can watch it. So just give me 1 second, because I'm going to like, I have it open already here, so so that I can actually have it running. So we see it. I'm going to put it on full screen so people can watch it. So yeah, so here's the video version. I'm going to just like loop it a few times with sound and everything. So give me just a second. So for everyone to enjoy. Okay, cool. I'm gonna just like bring you back again. So was the sound design also done by your friend as well?
Yeah, it's just 2 tracks that I picked, and she mixed them together.
Cool. It looks really nice.
Thank you.
And I'm assuming she probably used After Effects or something to animate this, wasn't it? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, she's a mastermind in After Effects. That's what she does professionally. So,
cool.
Yeah, it's very nice to have talented friends.
Talking, like, I guess this is a good caveat, like a good segue to the other animation that I want to talk to you today. So I noticed that, like you've mentioned on your website as well, that you were part of a short film, wasn't it?
Yep.
This short film is called SASHA, right?
Yes.
Cool. So I'm gonna show it to everyone so that people can see it. But and then we probably can maybe talk about it. Let me just like bring it over so that everyone can see it, and then we can like talk about it as well. Okay, so I have it here. Just like put it. So this is the trailer for that short film, correct?
Yep.
Cool. Let's just like show it to everyone before we start talking about it.
Sasha, nu-ți fie frică. E normal. Sasha?
Da, Sasha.
I'm gonna leave it looping while we're chatting away.
Uh,
So tell me a little bit about how. Well, first of all, it's lovely. It's really nice. And
Thank
so
you.
this is the trailer. Before we even talk about the process, what's happening with this? Like, is it going to be out soon? Is it already out? Like, what's happening?
It's already out in the festival circuit, so it's making the rounds at animation festivals and film festivals around the world. I'm not sure when it's gonna be out online, like to be viewed on YouTube or Vimeo, but I'm hoping that in a year or so we're all gonna have access to it after it makes its rounds around the
Cool.
world.
I can't wait to see the final film, and I'm gonna already invite you over. Like once the film is actually out and actually available, you
Mhm.
should come over again to the stream, and we can talk about the entire film.
Cool.
How long is the film, by the way?
So I think it's 12 minutes. I'm not exactly sure, but a little bit over 10 minutes.
Cool. And so,
Like,
what was your role during this film? Like, how, like, was it just you alone doing the drawings? Was it with other people? Tell us a little bit about that.
I was the art director for the film. When I came into the project, we only had the animatic, which is a storyboard done on the beats or on the timing of the film, and the character design of the snails. And my role was to basically build the world and create all the images that go along with the film. I did all the paintings, all the illustrations myself. I started from the animatics, the sketches, and I basically illustrated everything that you see except for the characters by myself.
Ah, cool. And then I guess like this was all animated on After Effects as well. Was it that process?
This is done in Moho,
Ah, cool.
which, yeah, it's a pretty cool program that really combines 2D and 3D and has very, very nice capacities for character animation.
Ah, cool.
So
Cool.
the acting was a little bit more refined than I guess could have been done in just After Effects.
Okay, cool, cool. And I'm gonna just like share, like I'm gonna stop the video here, and I'm gonna like actually go to the page where you have this here.
Mhm.
So I can see that you have like a lot of. This is some of the actual drawings. Like you said, it was 84, like you say on your website, 84
Yeah.
scenes that you've put to animation.
Mhm.
And then there, like you have like the boards as well here. How long were you working on this project? Like, was it a long time?
It was a total of 8 months, I think, or even a bit less than that. We started late December 2020, if I'm not mistaken. And then in 2021, in summer, somewhere around June, early July, we were done. I
Okay.
mean, my part was done. The rest of the team went into post editing and sound.
That's really cool. Like, how many people in total were involved on this?
On the visual part, very few, 3, and another character artist who did all the snail characters, so four in total.
Cool.
And then the cast, the voices, the directing, and the sound, I think it was like 10, 12 more people. But the parts that I was interested in the time, the visual team was comprised of 3 people.
Okay, cool, cool. It's beautiful work. I mean, you see everyone on the chat here as well saying that they love it and they really like the work. Thank you so much,
Thank
chat, for
you.
all the support as well. It's lovely to see all the kind words that the chat is giving to Diana. That's great. This is really cool. I can't wait to see this. I love snails. I really like them. I'm always trying to save snails when I'm seeing them on the street when it's raining
Good job.
outside, because they always like they're always on the wrong place. You know, like
Oh, totally. Yeah.
they're always on the wrong place and always coming out when it's raining. Poor thing. Um, and so I guess one last question I'll ask you, like from a more techie side, like was this pretty much as well the same process as the Viva Magenta painting? It's mostly Photoshop in painting, or do you
Yeah.
have other softwares that you've used as well?
I actually used SketchUp to do a full layout of the environment.
Oh, cool.
So I was able to keep track of proportions and angles and continuity, I guess, between scenes. So I had a very rudimentary SketchUp model, which I did with the wheel and the greenhouse and bits and bobs that were part of the storytelling, part of the universe of the snails. And then where that was needed, where I had to keep the proportions right, I would just do a screenshot of that. I would pose the SketchUp model and do a screenshot, and then build my sketches in Photoshop on that. And if not, if it was just something like this that you're showing now on the screen with leaves and other elements, I would just go often directly to a color comp and not even with a pencil sketch, because I think I'm more of a painter at heart than a draft person, a person who draws.
Yeah. I noticed that as well. Like I noticed that on your Instagram page that you actually draw quite a lot. Samuel in the chat here is saying, I love this style. It reminds me of illustrations from children's book that I read to my daughter. That's great, Samuel. So do you, because you actually do that as well, like you do children's books as well, don't you? So you've it makes sense that Samuel is commenting on that. Regarding what you were saying about the drawings, I'm actually just going to share with everyone your Instagram page. So for everyone on the chat, you should definitely go and check Diana's Instagram page. It has some lovely drawings there, and also you have these really cool reels as well, where you're drawing. So this is what you're saying, isn't it? You kind of like really like to draw and to actually sketch on paper first, don't you? You do that a lot. I noticed that on your streams, on your Instagram page.
Yeah, I did this more as a warm up and as a practice, more so than as part of my illustration process. I guess it's a way of building up like a visual library and getting myself accustomed to volumes and shapes, and I guess just the way things work. I started filming these reels just last week, I think, because when I was visiting a friend in Berlin earlier this summer, I attended a portrait drawing class, and I saw people being very, very interested in the process of drawing more so than the results, and I found that fascinating. And I think it's a very, very natural and human thing to be more curious about how things get done than the final, static result.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I guess I know what you mean. Like I don't draw anymore. I used to draw a lot. Like I spoke to you offline about this. Like my background is art. I have a degree in fine arts, and I used to draw a lot. I used to always have always like a sketchbook with me, and I used to draw comic books and also drawing all the time, everything. And it's a shame that I kind of stopped doing it because I was quite good at it. But maybe I'll come back to it. But I'm always too busy for these things. But I completely understand what you mean, because it just teaches you to look at things in such a different way. You kind of look at more details. You become more. Yeah, you basically become more inquisitive, and you're like looking at details that you probably normally wouldn't look when you're just looking at an object or a person, because you have to draw it, so you have to look at it in detail. And I like that. I guess yes, I don't draw anymore, but I found that I kind of replaced that with photography. I take a lot of photos, and photography kind of is doing the same to me as I used to do with drawing, which is I use a lot of zoom lenses. I use like really, really tight lenses most of the time. I like wide lenses as well, but I have a lot of very tight lenses, especially 300s and 100s and everything. And so it also shows you a different perspective to life as well, because you're so close to things. And also macro lenses. I love macro photography. I absolutely love it. That's just another universe, you know. But yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. Just like I'm showing here, like you can see the cats, and you're taking inspiration by the cats' pictures, but then your version of it is such a different thing altogether. You know, it's just like your twist on the image that you're watching. It's really lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess just the way I perceive reality, or I want to translate it through my own filters.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
So
I appreciate what you said about photography, because I totally feel that whenever I notice things and I try to take a photo just on my phone, the simple act of noticing and being focused on that makes it, I don't know, more worthwhile and more easy to remember.
absolutely. No, I totally agree. Keep telling my students all the time, you know, that they should take more pictures and more photos. And I do think, I guess it's two things. Like, unfortunately, photography is a bit disused these days because, of course, people became some commonplace with iPhones and with telephones and with cells. People don't really take photos like they probably used to. But I guess the drawing is the same thing. People don't really get used to drawing anymore, or to actually sketch anything out, which is a shame. And I'm guilty of that myself. I don't draw anymore, which I should do more for sure.
I mean, I am thinking that as long as we each take the time in our own way, or however we manage to observe things around us and see what interests us, I think it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I guess seeing that you have also here a few videos of on your Instagram, I think this is a great.
Yeah.
You know, I know, because while we're talking, I've been like moving forward on your drawings here. So I'm gonna open up the other video you sent me today. So basically, I know, like, and also like that's caveat to going in here actually. So let's see, where is it? I have it open.
I didn't post it. Yeah.
No, yeah, I didn't post, but I have it here. Sorry, just this video here, and then apologies in advance for me clicking around on things. So this is something that you draw just today, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit earlier.
It was just now, actually. It's really beautiful. Congratulations. Really, really nice. And I can't believe that you did this so quickly, because we spoke just like a couple of hours ago, and you didn't have this drawing yet. And so I can't believe you did this so quickly. You actually shared with me a video so that I could share with the audience. I'm gonna put that looping for people to see. So, and I think people will really appreciate this, because especially my audience, because it kind of shows. I know people really, really love time lapses, and in this one, you're basically showcasing some of the processes that you're doing. I'm gonna make us a bit smaller so people can see the video more clearly. So I guess, yeah, tell us a little bit about this. Like, this happened this afternoon, and you basically gathered some images, you gathered some references, and then you went for it, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. I had this idea of the painting we just saw earlier on my Instagram with the dog jumping towards the moon, and I actually tried to get a time lapse of that, but my file got corrupted. That didn't work out. So today I said, we need to do this. I'm gonna figure it out, and I wanted to do something similar, like in the same vein, as a form of continuation of that image with the dog jumping towards something. I thought of a cat jumping towards fireflies in a forest at night. So I just looked up some references very quickly, and started painting it. In a way, it's just a bit of a more messy, faster version of how I would usually do a painting, of how I would usually do an illustration. Maybe I would have done more comps, or I don't know, tried more layouts, more compositions, if I had given myself more time than this. Just for a very, very quick time lapse, a very quick process. This was starting from references, doing a small sketch, and then going in with blocks of color and adjusting things as I went along.
Cool. It's beautiful, and I love watching time lapses of other people's work, and I also record my own work as well, and sometimes I publish it on my YouTube channel when I get permission from my clients, because if I'm doing something, it might be a project that I'm doing for someone, but they like them as well. Sometimes my clients like the time lapses as well.
Nice.
But someone on the chat has a question for you, actually. Logan here. Logan Bourne is asking, how many hours do these artworks usually take you to do?
This specific one with the cat was 40 minutes, but that's on the very, very fast side. But something similar, maybe a little more thought out, maybe a little more complex, would be a couple of hours, I guess.
I see.
I was never on that side of illustration where I could spend 40, 60 hours on a painting. I would love to be able to do that, but I'm more of a quick color comps type of illustrator.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't like it's very impressive that you did this in 40 minutes. That's for sure. That I would say that like right away. Like it's very impressive. It really means that you have a really probably very like a process already, and you kind of like just jump into it. You can kind of clearly see that in here. And people are asking that as well. We have the same people like Shashin is also asking what will be the total hours to complete one art. You already kind of answered that as well. I guess don't everyone on the chat, don't forget, if you have questions, go for it. Like ask, you can ask Diana whatever you want in terms of the project and the work that she's showcasing here. Don't be shy, everyone. Just we're live here. Take the opportunity to ask questions. Another thing I wanted to ask you, I see all those pictures on the front there, and I guess those are the references that you've gathered to your drawing. Like, what's your usual process on that front? Like, do you just go to the internet most of the time? Do you have books that you refer to? Do you take your own pictures sometimes as well? How does that work?
I love taking my own pictures, but oftentimes they're not very useful into the exact ideas that I'm having. I mostly go on the internet and I just gathered as many different references as possible. This was not exactly the case. I would have maybe a couple of dozens if I were doing a larger painting, a larger illustration. And I try to not be very accurate to any reference at all. So by that I mean I try to take bits from each reference and not do a carbon copy of any photo ever.
Yeah, and I noticed that immediately because, for example, you can clearly see the cat that you've used as a reference. It's not even exactly the same thing. You kind of like changed over so slightly the pose and everything. That's really, really nice to see. You have a couple of other questions here. Like some questions are a bit more difficult. For example, like Monkey Trout 123 is asking you, what was your favorite Viva Magenta competition entry? I don't believe you saw all of them, did you? You probably didn't.
I think the third place winner.
Oh yeah, let me just open up.
Can I go and check?
Yeah, of course. It's on Instagram on the BenQ page. I'll bring it up here. I wasn't sure if they published. I know they published the 1, 2nd, and 1st. I wasn't sure if they published more. Maybe they did then, I guess. Let me just open up the Viva Magenta. Here we go. So, so lovely. They've actually promoted our own stream as well. Here we go. So we have. Oh yeah, that's right. So this was first place, second place, third. Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool, and it looked so fresh and unexpected somehow.
You're talking about the third place.
Third place, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, cool.
It's a very cool character design. I love her.
Yeah, it was nice as well. I really like the second place as well. That was really nice as well. They're all really lovely. Like we got hundreds of entries, by the way, like hundreds.
Nice.
We also had I know BenQ also did some selects as well. This is what they've also posted as other drawings that were.
That's so cool as well.
Yeah, that just almost won. It was pretty tight, I can tell you that, between the three of us. It was pretty tight, the numbers. Like the not to win. I mean all of we had 6 or 7 of them that were really high scores as well. So it was very hard as well to choose. But yeah, oh, that's cool. Yeah, so your answer to that question then would be this one, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right away.
There's another question here. I'm gonna go back to the video that we were. Well, actually, I'm gonna go back to the drawing because I don't think I showed the drawing for very long. So I'll leave it here for a little bit. Another question you have here is, what was your first art? That's a really difficult question. So Kryptonian is asking, what was your first art? Do you even have it online?
No. I really loved the drawing as a kid. I stopped for a bit when I was like, I don't know, a teen. And then I picked it up again, but in a more professional and serious way for school, for architecture, for university. But I used to draw quite a lot as a kid, and I might have some stuff at my grandma's house. And as digital art, I'm sure some messy soft brush illustrations somewhere.
You know, like I practically lost everything. I don't really have it. All my earlier paintings from my time at the art school and all my sketchbooks and drawings, I don't even know where they are. I think potentially some of them are in my mother's house maybe, but I don't even know if they are there. I think I lost most of it. Funny enough, like the last stream I did last week, I showed my first ever show reel, which was really, really bad, which is from 23 years ago. And I was like, I just made it like in purpose because I'm always reviewing show reels for people on my stream. But I kind of figured, you know, like celebrating the anniversary of the channel, I'm going to like show my own crappy show reel from 23 years ago so people can see that everyone starts bad. So, which was nice. We have a question here from Anda Who. Anda Who, that's a nice name. Anda Who is asked, how do you pick your color palette? They're gorgeous. So how do you pick your color?
Thank you, Anda. Anda is the animator for
okay.
By mood and by the emotions I want the viewers to feel when they look at the illustrations, when they look at the paintings.
Okay,
so
cool.
Most often, it's on the emotional side and not on the pragmatic or I don't know, realistic side of things.
And do you kind of like, actually, I'm going to extend the question of Anda and actually add a few more questions on top of that. Thanks for the question, Anda. Do you kind of like have your typical colors that you prefer? Do you have like, do you study color a bit? And how did that works for you? Like, do you have that?
I did study color quite a lot. So like many years ago, 5 or 6, 7 years ago, I think I took some classes on Schoolism. I read a couple of books. But then because I don't have a very good memory, I forgot most of these things theoretically.
Yeah.
So I think I just internalized.
Oh, they're here. They're all here, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel the same. We used to have on when I did my degree in art, I had all these history of art, and I had color theory and anatomy, and I know they're all here because sometimes I remember them not remember, but something comes out, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Why did that come out like that? So it's a bit funny on that sense. Right. Well, at least you see Logan here says that Logan says, I really need to pick up the pencil again. So at least maybe you've inspired him to do that. That's nice.
Yay.
So, what's his name? Ron Skinke. I think that's how. I'm just going to call you Ron. So Ron is saying, any advice for illustrators starting out and finding their own style? Do you have any advice?
Thinking about it. I guess the way I did it was just go with my gut and go towards the things that really, really interested me and that made me, I don't know, happy to see them, made me feel things, and more towards that than to whatever is trendy or towards whatever might pay well at the moment. I don't know. Because I think style is something that needs to come from a perpetual practice, and you will not be able to practice things that you don't love. So that's my take on things. Just try to see what interests you and what makes you want to sit down at your desk and do the work. Because there's a lot of work that needs to be done to do any half-decent stuff in art. And you need to kind of enjoy it to stay with it for a long, long time.
Yeah, that's a really good advice. That's really good advice.
Makes sense?
Yeah, it does. It does make sense. I'll ask you more things like that in the meantime. There's a question here from from another outsider. So another outsider asks, what other animations that you worked on?
Thank you, Georgianne. I see all my friends are here on the chat. Actually, I have an awesome announcement. I don't know if I should make it right now. No, I'll have to postpone that. I'm so sorry. But another thing, I'm working with Anda, who I just mentioned, and another animator friend, at a short animation that we submitted to the Romanian Animation Festival, and we're waiting on results right now.
Ah, cool. Can't wait to see that. That's nice.
We did a 1-minute animation in the weekend and in our downtime, and we're really excited to see it on the big screens, hopefully.
That's really cool. Oh, congratulations. I can't wait to see that.
Thank you.
I have another question here from Logan. He says, do you ever use Adobe Illustrator, or is it mainly Photoshop?
Mainly Photoshop.
Okay.
I would love to get into Illustrator a bit more, because I can imagine it would make some type of workflow or some type of illustrations I make a bit easier. But it's still a bit hard for me to get acquainted with Illustrator.
Yeah.
But it's on the list. It's on my to-do list, wish list. Thanks for the question.
You can see Kafka's waking up there on the back.
Hi, Kafka.
So Sashin has a cool question as well. I mean, I would like to also say something about what Sashin is asking. He's asking what software you use. We already talked about that, to create one amazing art. And you already mentioned that you use Photoshop, and of course you draw.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to actually, I hope I don't mind if I answer this one. I just wanted to mention to everyone, I always do this on my streams. I always say this on my streams. Try always to be as agnostic as possible, because it doesn't really matter which software you use. It doesn't need to be Photoshop. It doesn't need to be Illustrator. It can be literally anything you can get your hands on. Don't be too attached to softwares. I say the same thing on compositing and 3D. It's much more important for you to focus on the core skills of your art than the software itself, because, I've been working for 25 years, and softwares come and go. They come, they go away, and then another one shows up. And as long as you kind of develop your artistic skills, you can always jump from software to software. And so my advice to everyone watching would be to be as agnostic as possible and just use whatever feels good to you. Don't feel the trend of sending, I need to use this software because it's really trending now. It doesn't really matter if it's trending or not, as long as you can produce some cool stuff, So I just wanted to mention that to answer his question. Samuel Clean All VFX, that's a nice name. Samuel is asking, do you have any favorite artists or influencers who had a significant impact on your work?
There are so many of them. I'm really sorry that I cannot really answer this off the top of my head, because I'm very, very bad with remembering names. But I just want to say that Robert Valley and his animation work was a huge influence way back when I was starting out and learning how to stylize characters and how to do more pushed type of artworks and characters. And also I've been going to a ton of animation festivals along the years, and I instead of having a couple of influences, I like to have as many influences as possible, and I really like to see things from as many different point of views as I can. I know that doesn't answer the question, and I'm really sorry about that.
It's okay. No, like I'm
But
terrible with names as well. It's always like that, I guess.
thank you.
The same thing. Samuel is continue like asking more, saying or books, films, or animations. So I guess yeah. Do you
Okay.
do you have anything?
I have a very, very cool book if you want to learn how to draw characters or animals or people. The Force drawing books are, I will tell you the name in a second.
Yep.
So Force dynamic life drawing for animators, and then they have one for characters and also animals by Michael D. Matesi.
Just a second.
Is a godsend.
What was the name? Sorry, I'm gonna put it up on the screen.
Force.
Forced.
Force dynamic life drawing for animators.
Okay.
By Michael D. Matesi.
I'm just gonna like. Yeah, force drawing. Yeah, I found it. Just give me a second. Just a sec. You said from Mike Mattis, right? Mike. Yeah.
Matesi, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on the screen here, so people can see it.
Yep.
Cool. So that's the one. So just gonna like go in here. Yeah, that's the book you're talking about, right? That's the book you're talking about. Cool. So why do you mention this book actually? By the way, like what's
because it really changed the way I think about drawing in general and about drawing characters and humans and animals in particular. It talks a lot about the inherent energy each character, each being has, and how you learn, and it teaches you how to learn that, how to learn how volumes interact with each other, and how to use the energy people have or people use when they do different movements to make an accurate drawing that has a lot of life in it.
Oh, cool.
And it changed the way I draw from like drawing the contours and drawing the, I don't know, kind of the edges and the appearance of animals and people to drawing the energy, the vibe, the arc, the, life in it.
Cool.
And it might have been like the
out
biggest
as well.
shift in my learning.
Cool. Really, definitely gonna check it out as well. I guess I'm gonna stop sharing my screen since we are. I'm not gonna unless you do you want to show anything else, or do you want me to like we probably can start taking some questions and just chatting really. Do you want to show anything else? You want us to show? No. Okay. I'm gonna like stop sharing my screen here and just like so that everyone can see us in full screen. And please, everyone on the chat, don't forget, just ask away. Like if we already had some really cool questions, but if you have more questions, just go for it as we wrap up to the end of the stream, really. And also don't forget that by the end of the stream, I will do a giveaway. I've been posting it on the chat here. I'm going to be giving away my Nuke course for free to one of you. So just click on the link and join that giveaway. I guess another outsider in Oana is asking, show doggo. What is that? What is that? Sorry.
The doggo. The dog.
Oh, you mean Kafka? Okay.
Kafka?
Yeah,
I think he's right now.
I think he's busy. I think he's busy.
I can show a cat. Is it right?
We would love to see your cat, yes.
Okay, wait. Maria?
I'm even going to put it in full screen so everyone can see it. There you go. Like, perfect. Now everyone can see it. Oh my God, she's not liking it.
It's fine. Hey, Maria.
She's lovely. She's so lovely. Like, how old is she?
Thank you. She's 11 soon.
Okay, cool.
a grown-up woman.
And again, Kafka as well on the back. Kafka is really, really like, I guess he's really warm at the moment. He's like reversed at the moment.
I'm really sorry he's flashing all of us right now.
I guess until I'll wait until there's more questions on the chat, but I do have a question for you. Since you were self-taught, like you said on the beginning of this stream, and how do you things are different, of course, now, because in the past it was a bit different. Now there's a lot more access, and there's YouTube with a lot of videos and a lot of things. How do you think someone can start off right now? Like, what's your advice to an up-and-coming artist that would like to do drawings and illustrations, and how do you think they should start? Where should they start? Do you have any advice about that?
I would suggest for people to first find their interest and then find the very best people in that field and go towards their courses, because most of the top-notch artists right now have some form of class, or you can find something of a similar structure of which could get you to similar results if you search. So there's Schoolisms, TGMA, there's Domestika. There are so many types of platforms, and even YouTube, where you can find free stuff all the time, like thousands of hours of free content. But if you don't know what you want to do, then you can just fumble around indefinitely until you find, until you do something.
That's really good advice. I never really thought about that, actually, because I started such a long time ago. That's a really good advice, because you're right. Like, if you find something you love, then you're probably going to it's going to focus your attention a lot more to try to find someone that does the same thing, or does something that you like, and then you can investigate the same techniques that they used and the same kind of styles that they used. That's really, really good advice. Yeah. Cool.
Happy to hear.
I have a question here from Ahmed Sami. He says, I want to ask Diana, are there any Romanian companies that accept international artists to work in?
Yeah, I have a friend who worked coming from Germany, who worked at Ubisoft Bucharest for a long time here. And I'm sure there are a couple of game design companies and maybe VFX even. I'm not sure about that. But Romania is in the EU space, so basically they should be open to this.
No, there's quite a few VFX companies as well, for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I'm glad Ahmed asked that, because I had it on my list of questions as well. What was the state of the creative industry inside Romania? Like, how is it? Is it busy right now? Is it hard to find work? How does it work in Romania? I really don't know much about it, so that's why I'm asking.
I think it's pretty small, and a lot of the work is definitely externalized. So there are the VFX companies, the film companies that do a lot of that take on a lot of projects for clients from outside the country, international clients. And internally, there are books that are being made, there are short animated films that are being produced, even feature films in animation. Once every couple of years, there's a feature that gets done in Romania internally. But there's mostly, commercial work. And I think the market is pretty saturated at the moment, because we have a lot of amazing artists. Many of them are working in the studios. Many are also freelance. And I think there's a lot of work being made and a lot of innovation and creativity going around, at least in Bucharest, from what I'm seeing. Cool. The local, the animation festival that happens every October, gathers everyone kind of industry in the illustration industry and also the film industry. So that's pretty cool as a networking platform. And I don't know, I'm sure it's quite small compared to London, maybe, or other hubs of creativity and production. But from where I'm standing, from what I'm seeing, it's pretty filled with a lot of talented people and a lot of very cool projects happening all the time.
Cool. Yeah, things have changed quite a lot. Like, it is true that at some point, like, London was a very, very big hub for pretty much everything from the creative industry, including, of course, visual effects and animation. But it's not true anymore. Like, I mean, it still, of course, has a lot of companies here, and it's still very big, of course. But you can clearly see like a much more bigger democratic aspect going all through Europe. You know, we have many more companies in Paris, and companies in Germany, and companies in Portugal, and companies in Spain, in France, which is really nice to see. It's nice to see that it's kind of spreading out in Ireland as well. Like, it's just spreading out a bit more, and I guess it makes sense because I mean, the times of us all being on the same place are over, really. Like, and if anything, that we've learned from the pandemic is that we all can work remotely, and which is great. It's really great news, and I've always been a big advocate of working remotely. I was already working remotely 8 years before the pandemic, but I'm glad that it's now mainstream, so that we can work anywhere, really, from whatever country we are on, which is nice. Cool. I have a, let's see here. So yeah, so I have a really cool question here, actually, from Logan. So Logan is saying, when starting out, how do you manage professional work versus your personal work without burning out? How do you manage the two sides, the professional with the personal work?
I didn't.
Great.
I'm sorry. I was never like a mountain of wisdom put around. I'm working on keeping things balanced, but sometimes things just slip out of control, and you have a lot of projects, and you need to see that everything gets done well. And then burnout happened like a couple of times in my career so far. Maybe now I know all the signs a little bit better, but I went through that as all of the people I know from the industry have, unfortunately.
Yeah, I completely get what you're saying. I've passed through that as well. I had burned out as well on my industry, on my work as well, and I had to like stop and starting to let go, really, to be honest, so that I wouldn't burn out anymore. But yeah, it's a tough question for sure. I definitely can't organize myself to do my personal work. I'm always dragging my personal work. So if anything, Diana, you're doing a much better job than most people I know, because most people I know cannot do the personal work at all. Like, they just like don't ever give it the time that it needs to have, you know. I guess I mean, in a way, like you always run out of time anyway, but it's a matter of you, I guess, to answer Logan, like, as well. And from my side, there is really no solution to that. You just can't give up. You know, you should always continue doing personal work as well to kind of inspire professional work anyway, you know. So yeah, that would be my side of the answer. Let's see here.
Or, you know, at least take a nap, Logan, and don't beat yourself up, because grind culture is a myth, and it doesn't really work.
No.
So things happen in their time, and I think one piece that's well thought out and good is much better than 10 pieces that you force yourself to make.
Yeah, that's a fantastic advice. That's such a good advice. You're absolutely right. Grind culture is like dead to me, for sure. And it was very different in the 2000s. In the 2000s, it was the only way people used to work. In the 2010s as well. And I think fortunately, I feel that people appreciate more free time and appreciate life a lot more than they used to. And they kind of like started to understand that there's a health side of all of this as well, which I personally neglected when I was younger, which I shouldn't have neglected. But I always advise my students to not neglect it, because it's so important for you to continue to be healthy and to give time and space for both your body and your mind as well. So yeah. Logan has another question. Logan, you're running out of questions. The next one you're gonna have to pay for. I'm joking, Logan. So Logan. Well, before Logan, I have another one here. Just before, I'll answer your question in a second. So Ritesh asks how the animation concepts start from, like, where you get good ideas and references. I think that's what he wants to ask. How the animation concepts start from, like, where do we get good ideas and refs? I think I understand what he means.
Okay. I also think like, how can you make a concept be good, and where do you get your references and your ideas to make that concept be understood by the public? Well, that's always subjective. And in animation, for example, that would be ultimately the director's opinion. And you need to think about what you want people to, when they see the animation, what you want them to feel, what you want them to think about it, and how you want them to leave after finishing the clip. So it's a very hard to put into words fluid way of thinking, in which you do your best to put your emotions and your thoughts into a nice little package, and then you find the images and references that are similar to that package, and then from this mix you try to make, like, the best salad that has ever been done in the universe. But yeah, I don't think you can ever have a recipe for that, and I wouldn't believe that I wouldn't trust anyone that says they have a recipe to do, like, a good concept.
Yeah.
Perfect, I don't know, way of putting your ideas to paper.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, because the world the internet is covered with, like, people promising, like, solutions and promising ways of doing this and that. If you pay me, I'll show you how. And it's like it's always a bit of like a bit of a lie, really, to be honest. That's really good advice. I will. Yeah.
I just want to say something. There is a lot of theory going around. There are some basics that would be great to know if you go into animation, like things about composition and types of shots and beats, story beats, and all of that. And you can find those in, like, the schedule of any film school, and they're usually, like, the same books all the time. And it's great to know those. But other than that, like, if you know the basics, everything else, I think, is very personal and can be very fine-tuned to the way you want to do your storytelling, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree with you. I couldn't have said it better than another outsider. Another outsider says, Diana, you actually are a mountain of wisdom. Very good insights. And he's right. Another outsider is absolutely right. Okay, so I have a question here from Shashin Bat. How do you get inspired or motivated all the time?
I don't. I'm really sorry to disappoint you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't get inspired all the time either. Like, sometimes you have bad days and sometimes you have good days.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm seeing that I'm more inspired more time I spend away from my desk, away from my computer, from Photoshop. I like to walk my dogs. I like to travel whenever I can. I like to pay attention to other things than just illustration or animation. And I get my inspiration from everything else. And then when I get all filled up with inspiration, I'm happy to just sit at my desk for a couple of hours and paint and do things. But I don't have, like, a schedule. I don't have a practice. I don't do, like, X pieces per week or per month.
Yeah.
I'm very much, I guess, vibes based and go with the flow in terms of my personal work. When it comes to professional work, of course, I do my best to keep things running smoothly and on a schedule. But I'm thinking that we were talking about personal stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree with you. The more you kind of go out and see things, I feel like that as well. I get very energized when I go to museums and go to exhibitions and go to the movies and you know, me and my wife, me and Anna, we go out and we see things, and then when I come back, I get so energized and I get so filled with ideas and things. It really definitely works like that. You should never wait for it to happen on your desk, because it's not going to happen. It's definitely not going to happen.
And cool. It doesn't sound like a very nice way to spend your afternoon.
No, absolutely not. Cool. I guess that's it. Like, I don't have any other questions. Is there anyone that want to give like one last question to Diana before we wrap up? We've been already going for like over an hour. I do apologize. Usually I do a break, but we were in the middle of the conversation. I wanted to stop the conversation. If there is someone that wants to ask something, now is your chance. Just post it on the chat. But yeah, Diana, like, is there anything else that you would like to talk today, or to talk about anything else, or?
Thinking.
Oh, we have a question here from Logan again. Like, Logan actually brought a question. It's a very loaded question, though.
Okay.
So, sorry for another question, but what's your opinion about the whole AI movement? Just hope the future of it doesn't have an impact on talented artists like you. So I guess I told you offline that this would happen. Someone would ask about this.
Unfortunately, it already has a lot of impact on artists like me. Not on me yet, but I'm seeing a lot of people I know, acquaintances, friends even, that are getting less freelance work because the type of concept art they're doing is not that much in demand, because it's being done by Midjourney or whatever. I thought I'm a bit safe from it, but I'm already in conversations with a client who doesn't really believe me that my work is not done with AI. So what am I going to do? I'm going to have to send her my time lapses. And it's pretty stressful. We're living pretty stressful times as humanity, as a society, all over, and especially as artists who have now need to defend their own creativity by this form of artificial so-called intelligence, which is, I don't know, basically cannibalizing other people's work and doing things that have no soul, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I know
what
you mean.
Sorry for the loaded answer.
No. No,
maybe a bit darker than, yeah.
We've talked quite a few times about this on my streams in the past, because it's happening in visual effects as well. It's happening on pretty much every creative aspect, not just a creative aspect, on everything really, on all jobs really, from the accounting firms to the banking to even regular text writing, blog posting, news gathering, all the way to artistic endeavors. But yeah, I guess I'm really sad to hear that a client of yours doesn't believe that you actually did it and thinks it's AI. That's a shame. That's a real shame that they would not trust. That is a shame, and I guess it's I guess it's not. I feel that probably will happen more and more, because unfortunately some of the AI tools that exist right now, they are really much more than a tool that scrapes the internet for an inspiration, then kind of like just spits out whatever the person put on the prompt, which has to do, it has huge ramifications from the legal point of view, and I do think the dust will settle. I don't believe don't believe AI, like from my point of view, I don't believe AI will go away anytime soon, and it will actually stay. But I think from a legal point of view, we'll have to have a lot of different types of regulations, and will have to be achieved in a different way than it is right now. Right now, it's pretty much like cowboy town. Like it's doesn't really have any rules whatsoever. But the rules will come,
Yeah.
the rules will come. They will start with the European Union. I'm sure that's going to be the first place that will happen. Then it will drag itself into the rest of the world as well, where people will have to like specifically mention that everything was, if something was done in AI or if it was supported by AI. Because the funny thing is, a lot of the mainstream media and the mainstream people that speak about this, they actually don't realize that machine learning has been part of our industry for a decade now. Like, not the AI itself, but machine learning, especially if you look at the visual effects industry, we've always used tools that try to save us time, like we use tools to try to save time and to try to not have repeated tasks. That's what scripting is all about, and that's what Python scripting is all about in terms of the visual effects industry. To try to save time and try to reduce the repeated tasks that we used to do so we can focus more on art.
Yeah.
But so machine learning, I definitely think is going to grow and keep growing as it usually does. AI is a bit different because it's not really machine learning. It's a different idea where it's kind of like, unfortunately, right now you type the name of an artist and it spits out the concept art with the style of that artist, and that is definitely a problem, definitely from a legal point of view, but also a problem from an ethical point of view. So I don't know how it's going to end. Of course, I have no answers. Sometimes people ask me in LinkedIn, some private ask if I know what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen, and especially now with the strikes in the United States, with the writers and also the actors, and potentially we're going to have video game artists as well joining that strike as well. Not sure exactly where it's going to end up. I can envision that there will be some regulations and some rules for this to happen, but I don't think it's going to go out, so go away. We in some way we're going to have to adapt to this situation, really. So yeah, that's my feeling at least. It's unfortunate, but because it's kind of like, I'm sure that a lot of people will abuse the system and abuse the AI tools to their advantage. But in a way, Diana, we've always had people that abuse things. We've always had that. There's always been people abusing other artists and trying to get more profits. That's always been an issue. So, but yeah, didn't mean to bring the conversation down. But yeah, so Logan is Sashin says this is a great conversation. Thank you so much for saying that, Sashin. Much appreciated. Logan keeps going, says, yeah, it's a sad future. AI should never be used on places where people can find joy. No, but it's you don't need to you don't need to apologize, Logan. You don't bring down the stream. I don't think this is bringing down the stream. It's a very important point to the industry, and I was expecting it to show up at some time. So it is what it is. So yeah. In that note, anything else that you would like to add to this, or anything else, Diana?
No idea at the moment. Thank you so much for inviting me. This was lovely, and
it was a pleasure.
So much chiller than I would have expected, because I've been mentally preparing for this for weeks.
No, it's no. My community is nice. They're really nice. Everyone is really nice, and I also see a lot of new people here, which I never seen before, which is great. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining the stream. You're always welcome here. Everyone is welcome. I do these streams every 2 weeks, so always welcome. And it was great. I'm really happy. We had pretty much 130 people watching today so far. Nice. Which was great, and we're gonna have a lot of other people watching the VOD, which they can also watch the chat as well. But no, it was great to have you, Diana, and I'm very inspired by your work. Congratulations by winning the contest, and also congratulations for your amazing work. And I hope all the best for you with your short film and with your new project that is up and coming. I can't thank you enough for joining and to share with us your work and your insights. I'm sure the audience is really appreciative of that, and of you giving us your time,
Of course. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been lovely.
No problem. So I guess that's it, really. Please, the chat, please thank Diana, and let's say goodbye to her. And I'm going to, don't stick around as well a few more minutes, chat, because I'm going to do the giveaway, and then we're gonna stop the chat, the stream. But yeah, Diana, it was really lovely to see you, and Really love you to
You
see your
too.
work. Thank you so much, and
Thank
we'll
you
be
so
in
much.
touch. And
sure.
yeah,
Thanks.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. That was great to talk with Diana about all of that. I guess, and also thank you for all the questions. We had some really, really lovely questions during the stream. It was a great stream. I'm really, really happy that we did this. I've been thinking more and more about this. I've kind of like thinking that maybe I should do this more often. You know, like I'm always meeting a lot of really cool artists in the industry. I'm always meeting a lot of people, and sometimes I would love to like share their art with other people and just like have these sessions. Maybe I should start doing this as a regular thing where I invite artists over. We look at their work, we take some questions, and basically just do a chill moment with artists that I like and that I enjoy. Yeah, I think maybe I should start doing that as a regular thing. I think that would be nice. Anyway, for we're gonna wrap up the stream now. So with that in mind, let's just do the giveaway. Really, thank you so much for joining as well as usual. For those of you that are new to my stream, don't forget that I'm gonna be do this every 2 weeks. Like I said just before, and yeah, I guess let's do the giveaway and then let's wrap this up. And I can't thank BenQ enough for supporting the channel and also supporting this stream as well, and making the contest. It was lovely to do the Viva Magenta. I hope they do it as a regular thing every year. I really hope so. It would be really nice. But yeah, I'm gonna roll the dice here on the winner and see who won my Nuke course. Best of luck to everyone. Let's just like gonna roll the dice here and see who won, so that we can go. Let's see here. So I'm gonna just like do the draw. Give it just a second. Let's see here. Okay, so cool. So we have. Okay, I hope they're here. Because as you know, you kind of have to be here to win it. So let's see here. The winner of my Nuke course is. So let's see here. I'm just gonna write it down here. Okay, so. That's lovely. I can see my wife is on the chat as well. Hi Anna. It's lovely to see you here as well. Okay, so the winner of the giveaway is Ryoma 981. I hope you're here. Ryoma, is that the name? I guess that's how you pronounce it, right? Ryoma 981. You've won the new course for free. Congratulations. Are you here? I hope you're here. I don't think I've seen this name in the chat. If you're not around, like, I can roll the dice again. It's not a problem, but I'm just going to give it a minute before I stop. Are you here? I don't think you are. Otherwise, I think... oh, yeah. Here we go. Congratulations. You won my new course. I'll be in touch very soon. And also apologies for the people that won, like the two people that won last week. I haven't got back to you yet. I will get back to you this week. Don't worry. So yeah, Ryoma, congratulations. You won my new course for free. You've been lurking. Okay, that's cool. Congratulations. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. We're gonna wrap up now. Again, I can't thank enough Diana for joining the stream. Much appreciated. It was lovely to chat. We had a really nice conversation. It was lovely to see her work as well. And we had some lovely questions. So that's it really for today. We'll be back in 2 weeks like we usually do. And in 2 weeks we're gonna have some showroom reviews. I'm also gonna be back on Twitch again to do some new compositing. And I'm definitely gonna do this more often, where I bring in an artist and we discuss their work and talk about some stuff and take questions from the audience. I'm definitely gonna make this a common thing. So, but yeah, thank you so much everyone for sticking around, and thank you so much for all the lovely support. Remember, you can always watch this on YouTube. I'm gonna make it available once I put the chapters. And yeah, that's it really. Thank you so much everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Okay, I'll see you all in about 2 weeks from now. Have a great day. Goodbye, everyone.